Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Vayishlach. In Perek Lamed Beis Pasuk Chav Tes, the pasuk states the words Ki Sarisa Elokim v'Manashem Atuchal. Yaakov had just struggled and battled with the Sar Shel Eisav, and he had requested a blessing, and the blessing was that your name will no longer be Yaakov, you will now be called Yisrael, because you battled with the divine and with man, and you overcame. However, the Maggid Minsk, as brought down in Sefer Lekach Tov al Parshas Hashavua, says, how could he say that Yaakov won this battle? After all, Yaakov was limping away after the Malach hit him in his hip socket. If you're limping away, that doesn't sound like you clearly won the battle. He answers that there's two types of machlokas, two types of arguments. There's an argument that's a physical battle. Let's say, for example, a boxing match. They pound each other, they hit each other. How do you know who won? Well, there's a knockout, and the last punch will prove to you who the victor of this battle was. There's another type of fight that someone could happen. It's a verbal battle. It's an ideological battle, a spiritual battle. And you make your points using your mouth, using your logic, by demonstrating verbally and proving to the other party, if you can, that your side is right. And when one side concedes, that's how you know that you've won your battle and you've beaten the other person ideologically and logically. However, sometimes the debate goes on, and one of the parties, instead of saying, you're right, they'll get upset, they'll get emotional, so much that they'll actually come in and they'll punch the other person because they're not winning in the battle intellectually. So they resort, since they can't win in the intellectual front, they resort to the physical front, and they punch the guy and knock the other person to the ground. In that case, you know who lost? Not the one who was on the ground, but the one who resorted to the punching, because he had no way to beat in the same frame of mind this person. He had to resort to physicality rather than logic and verbosity. So that's the same thing that happened here with the Malach of Eisav and Yaakov Avinu. They were having a spiritual debate on whose side would win. It was an outlook, hashkafic debate. It was meant to be something verbally, not a fisticuffs, not a boxing match. When the Malach of Eisav saw it couldn't win, it resorted to going physical and beating Yaakov, hitting him and knocking him so that he would limp. And that's how we know because that the Yaakov won the battle, in fact, despite his limp. It's because the battle was meant to be a verbal match, a spiritual and a philosophical match. Since the Malach resorted to physical actions, we know that he was conceding, in fact, that his logic wasn't there and that Yaakov had won. And therefore we became, instead of just Yaakov, we became Yisrael, and our name is the Bnei Yisrael. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful